Recruiting Nation, Chief Foster here. Within this video of the Mastering Salesforce series, we will cover how to properly build a new applicant record in Salesforce and show you the initial blueprinting process. So let's jump right in and get logged into Salesforce. Before we take a dive into Salesforce, I want to take a moment to read to you from the Navy Recruiting Leadership and Management Manual, also known as the RLIM, what the definition of blueprinting is. Blueprinting is the process of evaluating an individual's enlistment eligibility as defined in our Enlisted Navy Recruiting Manual. It is essentially fact-finding to screen prospects and identify those individuals who are medically, mentally, or morally unfit for military service. Blueprinting allows us recruiters to focus our time and efforts on prospects who are more likely to be eligible for enlistment in the Navy. Additionally, all recruiting personnel should utilize blueprinting techniques during every interaction with prospects, applicants, and even our future sailors to ensure no disqualifying conditions have occurred since they have last spoke with us. Observe the following guidelines when blueprinting. Be sure to establish rapport with the prospect. Obtain an agreement to schedule a near future appointment to explore Navy opportunities. Request permission to ask some questions to determine their eligibility to join the world's greatest Navy. Explain the Privacy Act. Get them to understand that information collected stays between themselves, you, and the United States Navy. Ask blueprinting questions with the intent to determine the prospect's eligibility. Start by asking permission to proceed with screening questions. For example, when we get together so we don't waste your time or mine, can I ask you some questions to see if you are qualified to be a sailor in the United States Navy? With that being said, let's switch back over to Salesforce and begin. So as we begin, let's assume we already attempted to search for this applicant record within our search bar and no record was found. Therefore, we must begin by dropping down on the nav bar and selecting applicants. Here, it will default to any applicant list view that you have pinned. On the right-hand side of your screen, you will see a button that states New Applicant. By selecting this New Applicant button, it will open a screen to complete with your applicant. Anything with a red asterisk next to it is a mandated field, and it will not allow you to proceed until all mandated fields have been completed. For the sake of time of this video, I have already completed this field and selected Next. Once you select Next, it will ask if you wish to proceed to the applicant's profile. Here we proceeded to the applicant's profile that I had created, Miss Motivated Navy Applicant. From here, it will default to the Common tab, and we must continue filling out this applicant's profile. In order to edit, you must select any pencil icon. First, we want to assign this record to ourselves. As a national trainer, I cannot assign this record to myself, therefore I have assigned it to someone else. Continue to scroll down and complete as much information on this Common tab underneath each subsection as possible. For example, under Personal Characteristics, we can ask the applicant their marital status. Are they single, married, divorced, etc. We can ask if they have any dependents. Be sure to ask their citizenship status. You then can continue on and ask their race, ethnicity, and religious preference. You can jump over to the height and weight and grab an estimated height and weight from the applicant. Just be sure to replace this with the actual height and weight when they come in for their interview. Continue down each subsection, filling out as much as possible. Another item that I wish to point out is under the applicant quality section. be sure to ask them if they have ever utilized illegal drugs. Be sure to make them feel comfortable when speaking to you so that they open up and that they are honest. Once you have completed as much information as possible on the Common tab, be sure to hit Save. Once you have hit Saved, jump over to the Supplementary Info tab. Here, we can complete the medical, the police, and our tattoo screening questions. To do so, select New under the Medical Information section. Be sure that it defaults to the medical history and select Next. Here, you can ask the questions under each section, such as eyes and vision. Do you currently have or have you had a history of double vision, cataracts, eye surgery, glaucoma, etc.? Continue all the way down this form. Remember, anything that you complete on this form during the blueprinting phase helps speed up the process later down the road when completing the 2807. Once you have completed the medical section, then continue to the police and civil. Ask the applicant, have you ever sat in a police car? Dependent on their response, depends on if you need to complete the remainder of this form. Once completed, be sure to jump down to the tattoos and piercings. Ask the applicant if they have any tattoos or piercings. Again, if checked, you will need to complete the remainder of this form. Once all information has been completed and you have determined this applicant is qualified, you may now wrap up the blueprinting phase and move on to setting the actual appointment and interview date. To do so, on the right-hand side, you will see log a call, email, and appointment. Be sure to select appointment, fill out the appointment information, and be sure to hit save. For best practice and to ensure a low no-show rate, ensure the appointment is set with the applicant and the interview is conducted within 72 hours. All right, Recruiting Nation, thank you for taking the time to view this video, building a new applicant record and initial blueprinting. Be sure to drop a comment if you have any questions about this video or suggestions for a future topic you would like to see a video on. Until then, stay tuned for our next video in our Mastering Salesforce series.